Just don't freeze.
I never freeze.
Yo, what's good in the web? This your man Q back again, and today we have more than a few topics that that are guaranteed to quench that giggly thirst. Today is National Star Trek Day. I hope that y'all have been living long. That don't look like I should have been doing that. I hope y'all live long and prosper. Anything else is just highly illogical. Hideo Kojima and Keanu Reeves tease Matrix 4, and the director of the original Blade from 1998 confirms that Blade will be joining the MCU. Marvel's What If delves into some zombies and a potential return to Hanna-Barbera's Pirates of the Dark Water. Final Fantasy IV, the HD Pixel Remaster, drops today. Before we jump into any of that, if you're new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with all things geek, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I make geekly content Monday through Friday. The schedule's a little, well, we here daily. I also stream over on Twitch at twitch.tv/The Geek Show. So by no further ado, let's jump in. So yesterday, between Hideo Kojima on Instagram and over on Twitter with Keanu Reeves, it's been speculated and confirmed now that Matrix 4 will be returning pretty soon in Matrix 4 Resurrection. And it's funny because every time I see a red or blue pill, I always think about that Jay-Z lyric that he did, was just actually one of my favorite lines that he said. She the one arm caught up in the Matrix, but let the fish burn. Get it? Fish burn? Lawrence Fishburne? Red or green pill, you live and you learn. Holla. But because of it, Hideo Kojima is in kanji. Only thing we got was the red and blue pill. As for Keanu Reeves, Twitter has been Twitter because the Matrix Resurrection reveals an innovative new look. You know what this Matrix kind of looks like? This Keanu Reeves from Matrix, i.e. Neo, he don't look like Neo no more. He got the grown man hair like John Wick. I mean, well, he has been John Wick a lot more than he's been Neo in the last few years. I'm actually interested in what's going to happen with this movie because personally for me, Matrix is one of my top 10 all-time favorite movies, and really, Matrix didn't need a part 2, and it didn't need a part 3, and damn it sure didn't need a part 4, if you're asking me. It kind of got a little convoluted, but that's besides the point. The brothers launched a new, as they quoted, an innovative website featuring an interactive and widely divergent version of the newest installment, which is going to be Matrix 4, The Resurrection, from the old 22-year-old, I said old twice, damn. Well, it's old, 1996. The scary part about this is a lot of people don't even know what the hell a Matrix is or what the Matrix did for the movie industry and just sci-fi in general. For 10 years, everybody was doing the Matrix. It says, in the context of the teaser, each choice presents users with different angles of what appears to be a central story in Resurrections. As is first teased by the exhibitors during the CinemaCon in August, Keanu Reeves is Neo back inside of Matrix taking blue pills and is seeing a therapist by Neil Patrick Harris into a man portrayed as Yahai. Martin II steps into Neo's life and gets him to see that the reality is just a mirage. Screens, we see an older version of Neo as Thomas, the dude that he was while he was in the Matrix, and it's almost playing that kind of ego ordeal within the story, which, I mean, most of my favorite movies are like suspense thriller movies like that. If they were to play with some kind of Fight Club type suspense with this, that would be very interesting too. I would like to see how they would do it, even though I say that they shouldn't make a new one. I mean, I'm gonna go see it regardless. Along with new characters, and it seems like new storylines and elements that's going to be more suspenseful, at least in 3 and 2 were, kind of taking it back to the old roots of the original 1996 Matrix. I'm excited about it, and as much junk as I've talked about how I didn't want to see it, just from looking at all of the new screens, the movie's also a lot further than I thought it was, and it looks like it's actually going to be a lot better than I was originally imagining, because with all these ports and reports and remakes, like 9 times out of 10, they ain't good. So the more news we get about Matrix, of course, I'll keep you posted. The more news we get about Matrix, of course, you know, I got y'all, I'll keep you posted. Sticking with movies, it's been a lot of buzz or a lot of smoke on Twitter lately about the original X-Men being the first movie, that and the Fantastic Four, that ushered in the whole MCU. And you know what? I have to agree with this, and it's crazy because he just really slid under the radar. We gonna have to give my dude Wesley Snipes. I almost said something else. We really gotta give my dude Wesley Snipes his respect. Put some respect on this man's name. For real. In 1998, Blade took the world by storm, and well, before T'Challa and Chadwick Boseman, my dude Blade was the first brother out there on them comic book streets holding it down. Wesley lost a lot of steam, especially with the sisters, way back in the day when he did that whole Essence thing, talking about black women and this, that, and other. But let's really not like diss this man for all of the movies and the black movies that he was in. Demolition Man was a great science fiction movie, actually one of my favorite Wesley Snipes movies. Passenger 57 was Jungle Fever, which went hand in hand with the whole Essence magazine crap. But you know what? Since then, from Medea and all these other movies that he's done, what movie was he just on recently? I think my man's has renewed himself, right? I mean, also, look, you can be with whoever you want to be and do whatever you want to do. That ain't none of our business. Like, for real. As far as Blade back in the MCU, IGN reported this a few days ago, and it says that Tariq Baseman, I like it, Tariq is easier for me to pronounce than shut up. It was previously reported that Tariq, who is best known for directing the 2020 Mogul, Mowgli, to helm the vampire superhero film, though it was also said that there was no deal had been finalized. Marvel still hadn't confirmed the news yet, and you see I'm jumping and paraphrasing to the good part. He said, I didn't think that Blade was going to happen. Just to be very honest, Tariq said, I'm honored and it's a privilege, but I'm here in service of Stacy, who is an incredible writer that was writing the film. She has a phenomenal presence and a juggernaut in her own right. He also went on to say Marvel takes big swings, you know, and that the new film will act as a reboot to the original 1998 film starring Wesley Snipes, which debuted a decade prior to the Marvel's launch of the MCU with Iron Man. Character is very important to me. I don't think of genre, I think of character, Tariq said of the reboot. It's not so boxed in as people might imagine it to be, working with Marvel. It is quite exciting, and I think the reality is that there is no Blade canon, you know. If you ever read the comics, there's always changing. Unfortunately, the comic series never lasted that long. That's true. That's the gift and the curse when it comes to the whole comics. One of the reasons I love comics and all the reasons that I kind of backslid from comics is because the moment you think that your favorite superhero or person is a certain way, well, they got a whole new origin. Back in my day, Wolverine didn't have a past. Either way, I'm excited to see a new Blade and see how he is transitioned over into the MCU, which is one of the reasons why I don't want Hugh Jackman to come back. Is because I think we need some fresh, new, young blood that we can grow with. Staying with the MCU, last night's What If, in my opinion, was a little bit lackluster when it came to the story. As far as the action scenes, the action scenes were good. But after seeing Peggy Carter, in her transition as the Captain America, which is, but she was from Britain, and then going on to the second episode to see my man T'Challa as Star-Lord, which is funny because it makes you don't even want to see Quill, because T'Challa just was a better Star-Lord. And then going to see Samuel L. Jackson recruiting the Avengers and all the drama that took place in that, and then with the tearjerker, the love-making Doctor Strange episode, the time we got here to the zombies, I was looking for a little more. But again, the fight scenes were amazing. The whole Vision is behind everything, as well as Scarlet Witch being that chick as a zombie, uncontrollable, made sense. And it also paid a nod to WandaVision, which, even though I do like Loki, I was more of a WandaVision type of dude. And we got a chance to see more of Hope. I want to see more Wasp. I liked her on the original Avengers. It always seemed like her and Hank, they already got boo-booed on a lot. I mean, I know that Pine was a alcoholic and everything in the comic books, but damn, I like the way they're doing him in these what ifs. It's showing how he would really act and how Hope would be with their powers. Look at me. Their powers. The Ant-Man and Wasp powers are good. Can't wait to next week, because I think next week is going to be when Eric Killmonger, meets Tony Stark and he becomes the king of Wakanda. I still feel that this has a significant role over what's going to go on in the Black Panther Wakanda Forever movie. I will say and give a nod to my man's Peter Parker out here with all his quips and just being Peter Parker. That's the Spider-Man we know and love. So shout out to him. And damn, it's already been 2 universes that's been wiped out. And last but not least, the Pirates of Darkwater reboot. I was on my homegirl Twitch, was a couple weeks ago, I want to say. Shout out to the homegirl, Ash Said Hi. If you have not followed her, if you like Sega, RPGs, and a whole bunch of retro Nintendo and everything, check her out. Discussing some cartoons that needed a reboot, and I brought up Pirates of Darkwater, and this woman damn near had a geek attack live on stream. So I did a little research, and come to find out, Hanna-Barbera does not own Pirates of Darkwater anymore. It's been given to Warner Brothers, which, might as well say, we never gonna see it again. So for those of y'all who are wondering, what the hell is Pirates of Darkwater and why these kids from the 80s are tripping so much over the Pirates of Darkwater? Well, Pirates of Darkwater was one of a kind. Matter of fact, it was one of a kind. In the early 90s, Hanna-Barbera released 13 episodes of Pirates of Darkwater starring Ren, Tula, Nibbler, Lowe's, on their adventure to find the 13 treasures of Rule, the only thing that was able to stop Lord Bloth, the evil pirate, and the Darkwater. What was cool about Darkwater is Darkwater I always like to think was either like blood or it was like oil, but whatever it was, it'll swallow up and grab your ass real quick. And that right there was a whole story within itself because it painted a great picture of the world. Originally, the show was just scheduled for 5 episodes, and those 5, since they were popular, end up going into 13. However, just stop on episode 13. So we don't know what happened with the rest of the series. I think Ren picked up about 4, if that, treasures. And then, well, 30 years later, fanboys like me are looking it up just in hopes that maybe we could see something. But it doesn't look like I'm the only one. A fan site's been running for decades now, attempting to get Disney, Warner Brothers, Hanna-Barbera, anyone who wants to listen to bring back our favorite pirate echomancers and monkey birds, but still to no avail. The only thing that Warner Brothers seems like they want to do right now is print to DVD demand, which I didn't know about until I was doing this segment here. So I'm gonna have to look into that. One of the things that caught my attention originally with Ren when I first watched it on Cartoon Network in the early days was that he was a dark-skinned dude. You didn't see that like in cartoons in the 80s and 90s. Like, He-Man had one hell of a tan, but when you look at Prince Adam, you knew he wasn't a brother. Not saying Ren was a brother, but he a brother from another mother from something else. And matter of fact, when I go back, almost everybody in the Legend of Rule, the whole world of Rule, was dark-skinned folks. I don't know if it was something in the water, but whatever it was, the story was good. A prince getting half a blade from his daddy and discovering he's a prince, going out and meeting his, which you know is going to be his girlfriend later, an echomancer who can control everything, monkey birds, blood in the water. For the 90s cartoon, it had everything. Along with Pirates of Dark Water, I personally would love to see some reboots of Bucky O'Hare. I would love to see a reboot even of Widget the World Watcher. I mean, it's so many different cartoons that came out back in the day, Toxic Crusaders, that I think would really have an impact today. Look how many times they rebooted Ninja Turtles. I guess maybe we can start a petition, or we can just continue to keep our fingers crossed and maybe they'll do something for the 50-year anniversary. But interweb, let me know in the comment section below. Is there any old reboot of cartoon, game, anime, anything? Yeah, anime and cartoons are different. We not even gonna get into that discussion. And if you're new to my channel and you like the content that you see, make sure you give me a like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. Like, it's robots controlling it. They need to know that people watching. Also, if you're new to my channel and you want to stay up to date on games, entertainment, anime, sprinkled with some of that comedy, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I also stream over on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Links are in the description below. As always, interweb, remember to eat, sleep, geek, repeat. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. Peace.